About a year ago, a 35-year-old Hyderabad-based IT professional named Shweta was bit by the fitness bug. So she decided to do what most newbie fitness enthusiasts end up doing. She signed up for group classes on Cult. You see, in the last decade, Cult.fit, which is now valued at well over $1 billion, has become synonymous with fitness and workouts. It has managed to make fitness accessible at a scale that has never been seen before.
All you have to do is simply download the app, find a cult center near you, and choose from a range of classes, from Zumba to strength training. And the icing on the cake is that these classes can cost as little as 90 rupees. So naturally, these budget-friendly classes end up attracting a lot of amateur fitness enthusiasts like Shweta. But little do they know that very often these workouts are doing more harm than good.
So Shweta was one of those people who attended Cult.fit's strength and conditioning group classes. And during one of those sessions, in the third session, she was doing a deadlift and she experienced like a sharp pain in her knee. After which she was diagnosed for this acute ligament tear, and she had to stop exercising for like a year after that.
That's our colleague DVLS Pranathi. Turns out, Shweta is not alone. Pranathi spoke to multiple beginners who, like her, landed up getting injured during one of Cult's many group classes. In fact, it's become such a frequent occurrence that doctors and physiotherapists have even come up with a name for it.
So I spoke to about 10 doctors for writing the story from across the country, and most of them, it was very shocking to actually hear that a lot of them told me that 60% of their patients every month come from such injuries just as a result of gym and improper workout and improper form and things like that. And especially in Bangalore, every time a doctor asks the patient that hey, which gym do you go to, the patient's answer is, oh, I go to Cult. So almost because of that, it became like a very common term amongst doctors as well to refer to these injuries as cult injuries.
Hello and welcome to another special episode of Daybreak. I'm Snigdha.
And I'm Rahil.
And every Friday, we come together to talk about something in business and tech that interests the both of us.
Depending on what we're talking about, we will have some really interesting people joining us on the show. In this episode, we were joined by our colleague, the Ken reporter DVLS Pranathi. Cult is in a full-blown customer acquisition mode, which means a couple injuries aren't going to slow it down. After all, it does have an IPO right around the corner. More classes simply means more paying customers. And this strategy has been working for it. The fitness chain's operating revenue for 2024 shot up more than 30% from nearly 700 crore rupees the year before.
But the growing number of injured patrons could turn out to be a massive chink in Cult's armor. 3 physiotherapists that Pranathi spoke to told her that the number of workout-related injuries is up by nearly 50% from pre-pandemic levels.
And the biggest cause of these injuries? Group classes, like the one Shweta signed up for. But before we get into what they are getting wrong, let's talk about why they are so important for Cult.
They've kind of very strategically positioned these group classes. If you see, if you take 2 devices in which one you have a Cult subscription and in the other one you don't have a Cult subscription. If you look at the one with the Cult subscription, you are always on a wait list to join any group class. There will be at least a, limit of 10-15 people on the wait list before, you can sign up for that class. But if on the other hand, if you don't have a Cult subscription and you're signing up for a group class, you can sign up at any time of the day, 1 hour before the class. Until 1 hour before the class, you can sign up for it. And the first 3 classes for people who are non-subscribers is free. So you can attend the first 3 group classes for free. which also they've done in the case of gym. They have, the first 2 sessions of gym you can attend for free. So this is kind of the strategy that they are following when it comes to acquiring new customers.
And in addition to expanding these group classes, Cult's other strategy to dominate the fitness business was to own as much of the ecosystem as possible. And it did that through acquisitions.
Like they acquired 20 fitness companies across the country. There's Golds, there's Fitness First, all of these big gyms that were there in the country, they went and acquired all of them. And after that, they further went on to acquire equipment sellers like, RPM Fitness and all of these brands, to kind of make the words in fitness or gym synonymous to cult.
Today, everybody knows about Cult. And it isn't just a tier 1 phenomena either. It has 230 centers across the country with more than 1 lakh paying subscribers. But more customers also means more potential injuries. Now, to find out how these classes really pan out, Pranathi attended Cult's dance fitness classes at 3 different centers across Bangalore.
In the beginning of the class, the trainer usually asks, is anyone attending it for the first time? And yeah, so I raised my hand because I wanted to understand how it is for beginners. But post that, they just tell you, oh, take it slow. But after that, like, no one even bothers to look. If I'm going to a group class, I am expecting some sort of training, some sort of monitoring. And especially if I'm a beginner who knows nothing about working out and I'm going for the first time, I have some expectations as a customer that, I want the trainer to at least come and tell me that something I'm doing is wrong. And especially if it is something like picking up weights and it's something that I absolutely don't know anything about, then it is important for the trainer to come and kind of help me out with it.
Now, this is not entirely the trainer's fault, you see. It is more of a systemic issue. First, there is a problem with the trainer and student ratio. From what we found out, a trainer at Cult has to handle sessions with as many as 50 people at a time. Naturally, giving personal attention to each student in the class then becomes an issue. And the second reason is the way that these trainers are being selected.
So, this is based on a conversation that I had with one of the ex cult trainers. So, basically, what he told me was that you just need like 3 main things to even apply for the post of a cult trainer. Okay, you just need to be good looking, you need to have a good physique, and you need to have good communication skills. After that, you're put through a training program of like 2 weeks. So when you say good physique, it essentially means someone who is actively maybe working out, right? After that, they have like a 2-week training programs which they give like as a certification or something, and based on that, the person can start taking classes. Now that is something which is okay for something like a yoga or like a dance fitness class, because like, it involves a lot of like heavy cardio related stuff, but that's not okay for something like strength and conditioning.
These good looking youngsters are pushed to fill every minute of the 50-minute classes. The regime is tight. This means more speed and shorter breaks. Couple that with 6 classes a day, no set working hours, and a starting pay of 4 lakh rupees per annum, well, it is quite the grind. And it doesn't help that this only leaves customers with about 10 minutes to spare for warming up and cooling down, both of which are essential during strenuous exercise. Pranathi spoke to multiple doctors to understand what exactly is going wrong.
So basically, 2 main reasons. One is the posture, the body form, and second of all, the body weight. So for every individual, like when you stand, your entire body weight is on your feet, and you need to be in a certain posture to kind of hold on to extra weight that you're picking up, because in cases like strength and conditioning, especially in situations like deadlift, you need to have that kind of grip, and you need to have that kind of squatting position at that 90 degrees angle where your body needs to be in that perfect position for you to actually not injure yourself. And even in something as simple as a push up, your body is supposed to be at a 45-degree angle. And if it's not, then the chances of your injuries are going to increase. basic things, like even if you are working out improperly with like dumbbells, you feel the pressure on your elbow and your body gets sore, and after that you can feel it in your forearm, you can feel it in your bicep, so things like that. So basically improper form is something that leads to majority of these problems.
And the risk only amplifies the older the customer is. The doctors that Pranathi spoke to said that people who start their fitness journeys between the age of 35 to 45 are particularly at risk. Now, let us be fair to Cult. Anybody who is engaging in any sort of rigorous exercise or sports as a beginner runs the risk of getting injured. The issue here is because Cult has become the go to for a lot of people across the country who want to get started on their fitness journey, it has also automatically become the place where most of these injuries occur. Now, when we reached out to Cult with questions on how these group sessions are being conducted, here is what they told Pranathi.
So basically, Cult also said that, that trainers have like a rigorous certification program, and then like, they have basic life safety certification, like in case someone gets a heart attack or something, like, they are trained to like be giving CPR and things like that. And they also said that they have like a range in which they categorize injuries between like 1 to 4, in which even like something like fainting or dizziness is considered as the first stage of injury. They said that like their injury rate is like 1 person per 3.2 lakh footfall people, which is better than global benchmark. And in case like any patient is injured and they have like a recovery, they need a recovery time and everything like that, during that time the membership is extended, and like they give refunds and things like that.
That's all for today, dear listeners. But before we sign off, here's a question for you. Whose responsibility is it to make sure you don't suffer from any injuries when you start your fitness journey? Is it yours? Or is it Cult's? Or do you think it is both?
You can send in your answers to our WhatsApp number, which is 89711083379. Also, if you have any questions for Pranathi, you can send them on the same number as a voice note or as a text message. We will have her answer them for you on next Wednesday's episode. Just write Cult at the beginning of your message so we can tell that it is about this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and if you like this episode, please send it to your friends and family who you think would find this interesting.